True. Chat, can you guess who's coming out next? Do you know? Here, I will, as long as nothing interrupts me, I will spoil the next champion. It's Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Runeterrable Radio. I am Blevins. With me, as always, is Saucy Mailman. What's up, buddy?
Hey, dude, how's it going? Hopefully that spoiler didn't make it in.
Oh man, there's been we've already said 5 or 6 spoilers on the show already, but that's
constantly.
That's why you got to show up to the pre-show, twitch.tv/theblevins every Wednesday. Yeah, we've got some stuff. We have not spoilers. We have actual card reveals, Saucy.
Yeah,
that's
our special
cards.
Guest this week.
Yes.
Oh,
card reveals.
We were beforehand. I was talking to Blevins. I was like, "This is some of the most fun time to have a podcast.
Yes.
Is when you get to talk about the card reveals and new stuff and
new
shiny new toys."
Yes.
I'm excited.
Our feathers are ruffled.
Every feather has been ruffled. So
that's
the voice lines for the Monuments of Power when you play them. Each of the landmarks ruffles someone's feathers.
Oh, my feathers are ruffled. Who goes there?
I go there.
I go there. Yes, that's the voice line for every monument.
Every
I went
single
there.
One. I just went there. Every single one. It's crazy.
God, that's so
They couldn't afford separate voice lines. They spent all their budget already, so.
Oh, I went there.
Oh, look at me. I'm a monument of power. Anyways.
Anyhow, that was a really dumb bit that I absolutely love that we did.
Next time on jokes that only Blevins and Saucy Mailman think are funny.
That's pretty much the point of the show. Is just we only hit record because then in case we forget and we want to remember what we were like, we have record of it. Whoa, the thing that I was going to say, and I definitely didn't forget, was we didn't only get new cards, we got new stuff just in general, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a preview into what's coming, which is also awesome. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. we can have a Patreon goal, like an absurd Patreon goal, and we'll just do a whole episode in the in that voice,
in the Starlight Seer voice.
Oh God.
That sounds like an amazing idea.
That sounds like an amazing idea. Maybe we just do it for free. No, God.
No, we're not going to do it for free, though.
We're not doing it for free. I really want to do it.
Our voices are famous and worth a lot of real money.
A lot of US dollars. Yes.
I don't want that currency. I want real money.
I want real money.
Yep. You know what else we got that's new? You know what else that's new that we can talk about?
What's that?
We have a new newsletter coming out for our patrons.
Yes, we do.
First Chronicle of Runeterrable Radio LLC. I don't think we have a good name for it.
Not really an LLC.
Can you name it for us?
I probably can. But why don't you guys name it? Maybe we'll make that I don't know. We'll see. If someone comes up with a good name, maybe we'll steal it. But yes, so couple of things. I've got it mostly done. It should be by the time you hear this, unless you're listening to it live or you're like one of the first people to download it when I upload it tonight. And actually, I'll probably be finishing it as it uploads. But so you can check that out. The patron newsletter. So patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio is the way. Any tier level will get you access to that. So the first one is going to be sort of the origin story for the podcast. I know we've talked about it a little bit. We talked about how we've met, at least briefly, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and also like my thoughts coming into it as well and where I was. So you can check that out for sure. We've also got an article locked and loaded from Cosign Joe that will be part of probably the second one, but If you guys are in the Discord, discord.me/Runeterrable Radio, you definitely know who Cosign Joe is because he welcomed you in. He is crazy like a fox.
Literally every person has been welcomed. So
it is true. And we love him, and he is our de facto community champion. So the de facto community manager. So he wrote a piece, and that will be in one of the editions as well. So I talk about it in the post, but if there's anything, it's not set in stone what we're going to use it for. So if you have any ideas or things that you'd love to hear or see on there, just let us know on Discord or through DM or whatever. It should be cool.
I like that. Coming up with ideas is hard, so that's why we use your brain power instead.
Well, that is for sure, yes. That is definitely true. But also, like, I mean, I can write about stuff, but if it's like, what I don't want it to be is like, oh, here's another update on something, I'm just going to delete this. Like, if that's the case, then we just won't do it. That's fine. And you know, we don't need to do it, but I want something that's cool that you'd actually like to hear. So, or read rather. But that's that. Again, patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio. Again, thank you to all the patrons who have supported us so far in our first inaugural month. Y'all's is crazy and awesome, and we love you for that.
Yep.
Okay.
So we should talk about some of this new stuff before we get into the new cards. With our controversial hot takes on the new cards, but something that I think everyone's excited for, some in-game tournament action?
Yes, we are getting some in-game tournament action. So, definitely have this already open. I think they did a write-up. I watched the video for sure, obviously.
Yeah, the video was great.
The video was great. Definitely check that out. But, basically, they are, for this next season, which starts on the 14th, which is a week from today, if you're listening live, they're doing a Monuments of Power. Actually, I don't know if it's Monuments of Power tournament, but they're doing a tournament for the season where they're using the actual gauntlets in game. They didn't describe it.
They didn't give specifics.
Specifically, right? Oh God, my computer is exploding. What in the world?
No. Need a new one?
Maybe. I'm literally never. I don't understand what's going on with this.
That's not ruffle my computer.
This is okay. Yeah, that's just exploded for all intents and purposes. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna ignore that. And yeah, so basically, there's a couple of ways they're gonna have those the gauntlets, and there's gonna be either like a giant gauntlet or maybe like a new kind of gauntlet that you can enter to get a spot, and then also ladder spots can qualify you for this end of season tournament, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, and it's super cool. I'm all about this, and British spicy.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that this is tangentially related, but so many of you know, both myself and Saucy come from the Hearthstone world. I was in the Hearthstone world a long time ago, and then just kind of like casually played. I actually wrote an article back in 2015 that I just stumbled across. A couple of days ago, and I went back and read it, and it was about the tournament mode. It was about tournaments in Hearthstone. It was in 2015. I think it was November of 2015 or something. And in the article, I'm like, I'm not holding up too much. I'm not gonna lay on Blizzard too hard here because it's only just gotten a year. It's only just been a year since the game's released. Like, that's how old it was. And basically just all the things that I said in that article are actually like still true. It's just like, yeah, man, all the tournaments I've played in have been awful because I've had to do this, that, and the other. And it's like, man,
third-party clients.
Yeah, Blizzard just literally never added anything like a tournament mode, and it completely killed it for me. So, for me, this is a huge feature. Like really crazy for me. It's something that even back then in 2015, I was saying this is such a no-brainer feature to have in a game. So really glad to see that the LOR team is putting resources and putting time into this. I think it's something that, you know, we as a community have demonstrated that we want from them, and they're actually doing it, which is awesome.
Which I like.
A couple of other things that we've demonstrated that we wanted that they're looking towards putting in, and they sort of previewed a little bit, was the card cosmetics. We're starting to, they showed a little bit what look, I think they call them premium cards or something.
Yes,
they basically look like foils.
Term.
They look like they look like foils essentially. And they said that this was like one of the initial things that
they were like
do.
early renders or something.
Early renders,
they weren't, like, finalized.
Yeah, they didn't look like super like holy crap, I need these. I mean, I was like that because I'm a degenerate and I want everything. Also, this gives me something. I guess that actually kind of opens up another question, like how do you actually get the premium cards? Like, is it only going to be like the emotes where it's just like, okay, pay real money to get coins to get them, which is fine. Like I wouldn't blame him for that. Or like, can I use like 1,000 dust, or can I use 1,000 gems to get it? Because I have a lot of those.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be cool, like if you own like all of a set of cards in regular, if you went to go craft them again and it makes like the premium version, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I mean, I personally want that because I have hundreds of wild cards and over 200,000 gems.
Yeah.
So that's what I would want. Chad is saying that they said that you could earn them, which is cool. Like, to me, I'm glad because I like is kind of like you know, me being a lab rat type of thing. It is like I want another carrot to like grind for, right?
Yeah.
100%. Even like just having the Targon region route and the extra like few levels on the other ones, like it's another thing that like, oh hey, I'm making some sort of progress towards something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like how they do it for the like the TFT pass. When you get to the end, then you like just start getting the like little legend eggs, but it takes like forever to get. I'm all about that. Like if my experience is doing something after I've completed all the region roads, and like even though if it's like way out there, but then I get something, that'd be pretty cool.
It's completely a psychological thing, but I want that carrot at the end of the stick, even if it's a mile away. I mean, that would be sweet. I mean, again, Saucy and I are kind of coming from the perspective that is probably not held by a lot of people, because not everyone has every single card and hundreds of thousands of gems. But we do, so
not to brag or anything, but look at my wild card collection.
Look, I'm just spilling them all over the place.
I start every stream now with I just have it zoomed in on my currencies in game, and I twirl my mustache and look at the camera without saying a word for 10 minutes.
I just love whenever people are talking about it on Twitter, I just screenshot mine and I'm just like, amateurs.
Look at you with your, what is that, 50 champion wild cards? What a loser.
What an idiot.
What an imbecile.
But in all seriousness, having if we had to grind to get all of the cards premiumed or foiled, that would be interesting for sure.
That'd be sweet.
I'd be happy even if it was a grind. Actually, almost especially if it was a grind, I'd be pretty happy.
Because the thing about it, the reward of it being a grind, it's just like if anyone's ever played massively multiplayer online games where there's like premium transmog cosmetics where you have to do something, like if it's a rare drop in a dungeon and you're the one with it, you gotta just like flop sausage and let everyone know, look at this, I've got this. Did you grind this for 200,000 hours? Because I don't have a life. Like you gotta rub it in.
Right. You got it. Like that's the showing off your internet trophies is a thing that we've all sort of grown up doing, which I want. So, I'm hoping for that for sure. So, that's really cool. And then also Saucy, spectate mode in November.
The spectate mode is kind of, I don't have words other than I'm excited.
I'm super excited.
Yep, that's been the feature. That's like the thing that we keep begging for, and I'm glad it's coming earlier. Because all they originally said was by the end of the year, I think. So that is, I was thinking like, all right, December, like the last day of December. They're like, oh, we snuck it in. But yeah, spectate mode I know is huge. Not even just for in-game tournament stuff, being able to run community tournaments, all that kind of stuff, but even just to like have a more social time with your friends, like kicking back. I know there's been so many times, even back playing Hearthstone, like when you're preparing for like doing coaching and stuff, like preparing for tournaments, you get to watch your friend coach them through. It's just awesome, and it's just like another way to have some more social features, which we've been lacking, making the game a little less lonely.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing that I think Hearthstone nailed with being able to spectate your friends. And then what's also cool is that if you're friends with both sides and you spectate, you can see both hands. Of course, they probably need to do something with that so that there's not cheating, I guess.
It'd be cool if I'd love to see them have like a splattering of options where you can have like show one hand, don't show one hand.
Ooh.
All these different things would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, options would be great. I'm not expecting that. I want it
everything.
For sure. At least not now.
Give me everything.
Give me everything eventually. I'll take even just the ability to grab the hands in game would just be fantastic.
Just call me Reddit because I'm complaining already.
Yeah.
That's never happened.
Exactly. Awesome. So, okay, this side of my computer's not ruined, so I can still see the notes. Awesome. So,
whoa. We can't move on because there is the biggest change coming to Legends of Runeterra.
Yes.
The most important change coming to this game. Yes. The most monumental thing that could happen, and that's a new Dragon Guardian.
Yes. The new Dragon Guardian. I mean,
that's literally all.
He's better. What I will say is he's definitely better than the butterfly one, which I
the butterfly one
hate. I hate that.
It's F tier. This is the best tier. As an Umbra main in TFT, I'm just telling you, this is all I want. Ooh, do you think they'll ever have?
Oh my god! Don't say it because I'm gonna want it. Don't put it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. How there's
Chonk, give me Chonk.
Yeah, I want Chonk in this. I want all the little legends.
Yeah, I do.
And then I want them to have all the different, like the panda Chonk, the fire Chonk.
Oh my god! Shut up and take my money, Riot.
And then when they announce this and they bring in all of these, there should be an option in your player profile where you can just set up a direct deposit from your employer.
From your employer, yeah, just to go to Riot. Yeah, I mean,
yep.
I'm not gonna say I wouldn't opt in for it because I definitely would. Yep. And one of the things I might opt in for, Saucy, is the new cards. Not just new cards, new card type we have. They're called landmarks. A new card type.
Yep.
They work, I guess, kind of like enchantments in
that's what they seem like.
In Magic, except they take up a unit spot on your board, which is very interesting. So, yeah, they're saying new card type landmarks play onto your board for unique ongoing effects. And the first one we got was the Vaults of Helia. 5 mana landmark epic that says round start, kill your most expensive ally to summon an ally from your deck that costs 1 more. We got pod. We got birthing pod.
We got watered down birthing pod, but it's still a really cool effect. Considerably watered down, but this is really cool. So it's some things to take into mind when you're evaluating landmarks.
Yes.
One, it does take up board space.
Yes.
It can't attack or block.
Yes.
So that's just it's a dead spot. So that changes the card's power level. They have said that they're going to change cards that are in the game to also be able to target landmarks for removal.
Some of them,
Yep. And then they're bringing in new cards that also can deal with landmarks as well. So if we're like, oh, nothing could get rid of this. Like, there's going to be ways.
There already are.
And they're slow.
A few, yeah. Yep.
They all take, you have to spend actual mana points. You can't just put spell mana into these.
Right.
So just think about all these things. Use your thinking brains.
Use your thinking
this effect
brain.
is really cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the placement of the landmark in terms of where it is. Actually, no, I guess it wouldn't matter because it's not going to ever be in your attack spot, so support would never be affected. Okay. Also, you can move it around when you do that anyway. Okay. I almost asked a stupid question, and then I explained it to myself out loud on camera, so the stupidness still shone through. Yep.
Perfect.
The other thing that is not like a hidden text or anything, but just something to consider when considering the power level of these effects is that you're not getting an effect when you play it. It is, or at least the ones that we've seen so far, and we've seen 3 so far, and all 3 of them have round start on them. Traditionally, when you're paying for something and it doesn't do anything when you play it, that is as a Magic player, that's a red flag for me. Especially since you're spending mana that could be spent on units. It's not impacting the board at all. That is a red flag to me in terms of something that might be deceptively less powerful than it may look at first glance if you're not used to evaluating through that lens. So that's just something to consider. I think the effects that we see so far are all very strong, or at least Slaughter Dox is not like overly powerful, but the other 2 that we've seen so far are quite powerful in their effects. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. My initial thought for landmarks is that they seem a little bit slow and a little bit clunky, but very powerful, which can be good in control decks. And I mean, the long and short of it is we're gonna have to wait and see what kind of builds go around it, what kind of supporting cards we get for them. Are there ways to cheat them into play, et cetera, et cetera?
And it is a card type. So they're gonna likely add more in the future. So I'm sure we'll see some cheap ones like a Demacia is cheap and summons like a token. Yeah,
I think it was either in the video or in the write-up, they mentioned that like all the landmarks in this set are kind of like big sort of splashy ones, but they have the liberty. It's not like, oh well, every landmark has to be an epic and has to be this. Like they can do cheaper ones that have maybe smaller abilities that are maybe more utility based than big powerful effects, but nonetheless, I mean, really cool that we're just getting a new card type this early on, which is really cool. I wasn't necessarily expecting that this early, so
same.
Very
but
cool.
I like it.
Yes.
I have one criticism.
Okay.
One criticism here. It's gonna be a little lame, but I think they're ugly. I think the card border is really ugly.
Oh, the like weird.
It's just like a giant bevel is what it is. I don't know. It doesn't look that clean.
Yeah, it does look a little weird.
It's a little clunky. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I like the fronts, but the big bevel, I'm not loving it.
Yeah,
but that's all I'm saying.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, they can always change. They can always change it. Maybe.
And they better.
This is our demand. But, okay, so we got our first batch of pre-champion cards from Bilgewater. We also got a Shadow Isles card snuck in there. We got the first one. What I'll say for these cards is flavor, 10 out of 10. I'm loving these cards.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a card called Boxtopus. I mean, come on, that's so good.
It's real good.
Yeah,
it's real good.
So the first card that we got, or at least they're going in mana order here. We got the Crusty Codger, 1 mana, 2/4, play, deal 2 damage to me. So a 1 mana 2/2 in Bilgewater. This is a Bilgewater card. 1 mana 2/2. Effectively, but can also be healed up because it has more actually has more health than that. This card seems really solid, actually.
Yeah, and it's gonna the most solid it's gonna be is when you get it off of the
Petty
Bilgewater
Officer.
Petty Officer. It's gonna be really annoying. It's gonna be really annoying when he pulls a 2/4 and you just go, oh! That's the noise you'll make every time.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and we're gonna see actually all of most of these cards, all the units that that were in this batch are all around this deal a damage to me or deal a damage to an ally or both in some cases.
They're all very self-damage archetype.
Which is interesting because when we flash forward to, actually I guess it kind of makes sense. When we flash forward to Kench, he doesn't actually proc off of that at all. Like that doesn't actually have anything to do with him. I guess like you can take. Oh, I just got it. I just figured it out.
Okay.
You play these cards and you deal damage to themselves. And he eats them, and when he spits them back out, they're full power.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That kind of makes sense. Little like going around the bend to get there, not like a straight up synergy, but it's kind of cool actually.
I'm just saying, Vladimir new meta.
Right. Okay. So the next card
also,
yeah,
Swain. These are good with Swain.
True. Oh, that's true. Oh, snap. Fortune Croaker. 2 mana, 2/3. Play. Deal 1 damage to me and an ally to draw 1. This card kind of seems insane. Like
it seems pretty good.
It seems quite good. I guess if you're running a bunch of X1s and you don't want to kill them, that can be annoying, but 2 mana, 2/3 is fine.
Yeah, and draw a card whenever you add draw 1 just makes a card quite good in this game because there aren't insane, especially in Bilgewater, like being able to just draw cards is really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
One thing to note is that it says deal 1 to me and to an ally to draw a card. So if that is somehow disrupted or you don't have the targets to do it, you won't draw the card. So, it's not like...
So be smart with your plays there.
You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm not going to play anything and then play this and I just going to draw a card for free. Nope, doesn't work like that.
I
mentioned it before, but here's the Boxtopus. 2 mana, 3/4 Challenger. Play, deal 3 to me. So, for all intents and purposes, 2 mana, 3/1 Challenger in Bilge.
I mean,
seems
Jaw
fine.
Hunters is good.
Jaw Hunters is good. I don't have the Jaw ready for this drop ready. I was not ready for this.
Damn.
I know.
I mean, the Boxtopus is just great. Look at that art.
I know, it's so good. I can't wait to hear the voice lines on these cards because they're like what is it, like 1920s, like Cockney, like turn of the century, like bully day boxing, like they've got that.
That's what they all look like.
Yeah, they look like I'm super excited about these, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, Boxtopus seems powerful.
Yeah. I think the one for voice acting purposes that I'm most excited for is the Lounging Lizard.
Yes.
3 mana, 3/5 elusive, which you're probably thinking that's pretty strong. It's got round start, deal 2 to me.
Yep.
So it's even not that bad, but he's just like, look how fancy he looks.
Yeah, he is super fancy. 3 mana, 3 power elusive. I mean, that's the new solitary monk stats, which doesn't really see that much play, but also doesn't really have the downside. This will survive for this is worse. Actually, this is not I'm actually not sold on that. Okay, let's round start. So you play it on your attack, you attack for 3, next turn it becomes a 3/3, then it's a 3/1, you attack again, and then it dies. You can get 2 attacks out of it. That seems all right. Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you're bouncing it. I don't know. I just like the art.
The art is cool. Yeah.
I guess if you're playing like an incredibly aggressive deck and you're trying to win by that turn, maybe.
Yeah. The problem is, well, I'm just trying to think. Like, there might be an elusive Bilgewater deck, and I think this would be in it.
I mean, it fits in the all elusive deck we made. That was not incredible.
It fits in. It fits in with my my Playful Trickster deck. I mean, that works.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that there is a Bilgewater elusive shell that has some legs, and I think this would go into it. It's just, is this better than Pirates?
We're smooth brains. You just play this with the Freljord Granted Regeneration and Overwhelm guy. Easy.
Ooh,
just
yes.
get regeneration. Who cares?
Boom.
So easy.
Easy.
2-card combo.
2-card combo. I think this card actually could be good. It's narrow, but it could definitely be good. I like it.
Really,
okay.
what's gonna depend on if it's good or not is how good the voice is on the card.
I'm thinking, to me, he's gonna sound like Sir Finley Murgleton.
Oh, I'm in. I'm all about it.
Yes, a lounging lizard. Here I am. Yeah. That's my guess.
He has to be.
I want him to sound like that, but I think he'll have an even cooler voice than that. We'll see.
Nah, he won't.
The Slaughter Docks is the landmark for Bilgewater, 3-mana landmark, round, start, toss 1. And then if you're deep, destroy me to summon a random sea monster. This is an interesting one.
I like it.
Yeah. Talk to me about it, Saucy.
Yeah, I've actually recently been playing a lot of deep decks, even before this specific landmark was revealed. I love deep decks. I think they're super fun. It doesn't work with Aurelion Soul, but it was the worst. It's the worst Soul deck I've ever made. So this is really cool, and something I really like about the idea of this deck is this card. I want to have all 3 Slaughter Dogs out at the same time, and then the round start, and just 3 dudes just they're there.
Yeah.
It'd be sweet. And they're always guaranteed going to be Shipwreck Quarter. Guaranteed.
100%.
At least in the reveal trailer it was.
True,
right?
True.
So guaranteed.
Yeah.
Rito promised.
I mean, we've already seen Toss be really strong in those decks. Like, getting Toss earlier is good. Just a consistent Toss every turn is good. Obviously, getting a random sea monster. The range is what? A 4/4? Although it will actually be a 7/7 because you're deep.
Yeah.
A 7/7 is the worst one. And then, there's the full gambit of other ones. And also, there could be more that are revealed in this set, too.
Yeah. Maybe they just add some crappy ones.
Junk ones.
To make, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it would make sense, although it might not make sense thematically, because it seems like these play deal 2 to me are like these Bilgewater townies, I guess you could call them. I don't know, that are like these back alley boxing crew people, not the sea monster side of it. But if they made a a 3-mana, a 3-mana sea monster that was like a 1/6 or something, or like a 2/6 that was deal 4 damage to me or something, with deep, get +4/+4 or +3/+3, something like that. Basically, if they made something that was a sea monster but was bad until you were deep, and also it did damage to itself, Slaughter Docks would be the perfect way to essentially get that into play and have it be super good.
Yeah, I think it's sweet. More toss options are great. So then, you can run, because there's like a lot of times where if you're trying to stay out of Shadow Isles and you're playing a deep deck, it's hard, because then you have to play things like Scrap Shot. And that was one of the biggest issues when I was trying to make this Dragon's Deep Aurelion Soul deck. I was in Targon and I wasn't in Shadow Isles. So I was like, oh, we lose out on a lot of good cards that toss. So
yeah, it is interesting that these additional toss cards and even additional sea monsters give you actual options to play non-Shadow Isles, which is cool. Although I do like the Shadow Isles. I like the Maokai. I love Maokai. And I almost wish that there was more toss stuff in Shadow Isles. Maybe there will be, but this gives you more options.
You know what there is more of in Shadow Isles, though?
What is that?
There's more Crumble. It is a 5-mana slow spell.
Yeah.
Kill an ally to kill a unit or destroy a landmark.
Okay. Interesting. Now, am I just noticing this now, or is there a difference between kill and destroy? Has it always said that? Has it always said kill?
I think it's always said kill.
Now I'm second guessing myself. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't think
Vengeance.
Vengeance
LOR.
is kill.
Is it kill? Okay. Vengeance
Kill.
says. Now I'm double checking. Vengeance says kill a unit. Okay, I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there have always been kill.
Nope, that makes sense. Okay, I'm taking my tinfoil hat off. Yeah, I mean this one is interesting. I mean this is usually what? I mean this could cost as low as 1 mana in Magic, like 1 mana. What is it? Bone Splinters. Is that what it's called? 1 mana, sacrifice a creature,
Something
destroy
like
target creature is usually the rate. Of course, this has the added ability to destroy a landmark, which seems like it's going to be premium. Of course, Shadow Isles is more than happy to kill its own units a lot of the time, so I think this is actually going to be pretty strong. It is slow, of course.
That's the thing. It being slow is definitely the bane of this card. Like if this was fast, this would be really
extremely good. I still think it's probably pretty decent though.
I think it's all right. I mean, a lot of times you want to be killing stuff anyways, because we're all main decking like possession. So this is good with that.
True, it really is good with that. I'm wondering. I think that this can get slotted into some decks.
Yeah, it feels it's probably going to be one of those meta dependent cards because it depends on what landmark removal we get,
right?
And how strong the landmarks are or end up being. So
right.
like if we're in a landmark meta and there is not much landmark removal, there you go. But
well, yeah, that, and I'm also wondering like something like They Who Endure might not want to run Vengeance because it's a little bit too expensive, but it might want to run this because it is it's less expensive, and B, you can kill your
own stuff.
Yeah, you can kill your own stuff that you don't care about, or you can pop out your 4/3 tokens, etc. Maybe I'm not like super excited about this card, but it seems like it could be decent.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like sacrifice effects in card games in general. I love destroying my own team to cause problems. So, but I don't know. I also just hate slow spells. So I'm always like, oh, if only this wasn't slow.
Right.
But that's because I'm a blue player. So
right. I think this card would be absolute nutty bonkers if it was fast. I think
it'd be so dumb if it was fast.
Okay, the last card from this batch is a card called Sunk Cost. 8 mana slow spell. Already know your thoughts on this one. Shuffle a unit or landmark into its deck. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah, so the hard thing is if you compare this to other regions, like if you're comparing this into the field of the game, it's much worse than if you're just looking specifically in Bilgewater.
Sure.
Because Bilgewater doesn't have a ton of ways for like quote unquote hard removal, which this kind of does. But the big problem is it's 8 mana and slow.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, positives though. Doesn't trigger last breath.
True.
That's good.
True. It's around Unyielding Spirit.
Does get around Unyielding Spirit. Can target champions.
True.
It can target champions.
Yep.
It's also a unit, so you could use it on your own team.
That is possibly relevant for sure.
So this is good for my like shipwreck hoarder decks when I need more shipwreck hoarders.
That is true. Also, if your opponent is going to win by decking you, you can shuffle your own unit into your deck.
You can put a card in. Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing its value.
That's good. That's a positive.
Yeah. We've talked about a lot. We've put a lot of our resources into talking about this card and talking about the positives. But if we called this card good, that would be a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. I was like, Blevins can't let this get past.
How is he going to weave this joke in?
Oh, I knew it. Like, that's the easy part. Like, weaving that in is easy. But I'm like, are we going to really get to the next card? Okay, there it was.
Nope, there we go.
There it was. Which is the best part about it.
I'm struggling to see a place where I want to play this. If it was fast, I would heavily consider it. It is not fast.
It'd be great. I mean, if it was fast, it's one more than Vengeance.
Yep.
Potentially with an upside.
Yep.
Pretty good. I think that like the bar that we have right now is Vengeance for like a hard removal spell, and like that's what we measure stuff against because we play card games and that's what we do.
Right.
And it ain't doing it for my chief.
Yeah, and a lot of this isn't it for me. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so the next batch of Bilgewater cards, of course, included our big, I don't know, frog demon creature. Demon? I don't know. I don't think he's a frog. I'm pretty sure he's a demon. Tahm Kench. I can't really do the Tahm Kench.
Yeah, the Bayou Boy.
Bayou Boy.
We had a list in Discord of all of his official nicknames.
Yes. I need to zoom in because I can't read. Okay, so Tahm Kench, 4 mana, 2/6. At the round start, you create an acquired taste in hand, which we'll talk about in a second. Level up condition is that he's captured 3 units. And then when he's leveled up, obliterate my captured enemies and release my allies. So, and then an acquired taste is Tahm Kench swallows an enemy unit. It strikes him, and then he captures it. So, is it acquired taste is only enemies? I thought he could.
I thought it was both for some reason.
I think. Oh no. His champion spell, Tahm Kench's Bayou Brunch, can capture either. But the acquired taste is only enemies, and it strikes him. So, and then when he levels up at round start, you of course still create the acquired taste. He gets +1. Gets his level up version, of course, has +1/+1 like all the champions. And then when he attacks, you obliterate his captured enemies and release his ally. So basically, you are eating enemies every turn that you can by capturing them with an acquired taste. It also just works for any capture, right? So if it's the Bayou Brunch or Detain, that also still works. And then when he levels up, he completely eats the enemies, and then if you've captured any allies, he puts them back out again.
Spits them on out.
Spits them back out, like the Crusty Cudger and the Boxtopus will come back with full health, so that's kind of cool.
Or anything with cool summon effects.
Yes, true. Ooh, that is true. Rekindler is an interesting one. Yeah, and then Tahm Kench's Bayou Brunch is he captures an ally. Man, I cannot read this. Yeah, he captures an ally and gains their stats, which is interesting.
And it's an ally captures another ally.
When any ally, so it doesn't have to be him, which is cool. So my initial thought is he seems very cool.
Yeah.
Thematically, I think it's a 10 out of 10 from a flavor judge rules in Tahm Kench's favor. Theme is really cool. I know that this is what he does in League. He eats a unit, or he eats units and carries them around. Power level, I'm not seeing it, at least not on first glance.
Yeah, I originally, when I first saw this, thought that the acquired taste and Bayou Brunch were fast spells, but they are slow.
Yeah, they're both slow.
Which makes them not what I want them to be. So Detain is actually one of my favorite spells in the game. I think the combat tricks and the shenanigans you can do with it are so fun. And most of the time I'm using that to save my allies from removal, or like they're going to Ruination and you just like detain your own dude onto something and then you get to keep the thing and get summon effects. So I was thinking of all these shenanigans and now I'm like, but they're slow.
Right.
So you're doing less shenanigans. I think Flavor wise, obviously amazing. I think for like memes and like dumb stuff, this is gonna bring out some pretty fun things and some hilarious highlights.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling it on the like super powerful side. And I really, really, really hope I'm wrong with that.
Yeah. So again, looking at positives for him,
I like
you're
this.
generating a at the very least pseudo removal spell every turn with the acquired taste, which is, I mean, that is board clear every turn, right? That's super potentially good. I can imagine, and like you don't, Tahm Kench doesn't need to. His power is irrelevant in terms of eating them. Like he can capture a 5/5, and that's fine. Of course, he doesn't have regeneration, so he can only take so many hits from the acquired taste. But he can capture anything essentially as long as he can survive. He's gonna eat it every turn. So I can imagine board states where, like, if maybe you put regeneration on Tahm Kench, or I mean, granted, unyielding spirit on anything is pretty good, but like,
or just healing it.
Yeah, or healing it, or somehow, I mean, giving him tough. I mean, there's so many different ways to like protect Tahm Kench. There might be more put in the
Chain Vest Kench.
Yeah, Chain Vest Kench, exactly. Buffing him in any way, gems. I mean, there's so many ways. There's so many cool things that you can do with Tahm Kench that enable him, right? Otherwise, like if we're not looking at like synergies, which maybe you should never do this, but if you're just looking at him inherently as a card, he's really good at eating small units, and when he levels up, he gets, bigger. He can completely kill units, and then if you can find other ways to capture your own units, you can maybe give him more stats with the Bayou Brunch and go from there. So I don't know. He seems he's definitely weird. He feels kind of like a Tarek type of card to me. 4 mana, kind of like dumpy stats, very synergy based, not like inherently on his own strong like a Sejuani or a Trundle or a Garen even. So I don't know. Very interesting though, at the very least.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, 2 more cards from this batch. We've got Wise Fry, 6 mana, Overwhelm, Vulnerable, 3/8. Play, deal 1 to all other allies and grant me +1/+0 for each of them. So potentially a very big
Overwhelm.
6 mana Overwhelm unit, which is interesting. He does have Vulnerable, which is a little bit weird, but he has a 3/8. So I mean, I don't know. Are you at how many? I mean, okay, so the biggest he can be is it's all other allies, so he could get +5, so he could be an 8/8, 6 mana 8/8 Overwhelm that does 1 for each
with Vulnerable.
That's probably good enough, right? I don't know. I mean, it's a rare card, so I'm not like expecting the world out of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely very interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. It doesn't excite me, but I'm also just not like Overwhelm isn't my favorite keyword.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's good. That's not me saying that Overwhelm's bad.
Right.
It's just
Just
that's
boring.
not what excites me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I like the art.
I'm still waiting to see if there's like a big payoff for all these like deal damage to your own units besides Vlad and like the like backdoor synergy with Tahm.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I don't know about, but you know what card I do know about?
What is that?
Blevins.
What one's that?
How about this new card, Shakedown?
Oh, yeah.
It's a 1 mana card. It's at my favorite speed for a spell to be at, Burst.
Yes.
Deal 2 to an ally to grant 2 enemies vulnerable.
Yeah, that's
Card
really
seems
good.
Very nutty. Seems very nutty.
Yeah, this card is insanely good.
Yeah, it's crazy strong. Like,
yeah,
granting things vulnerable is good. I mean, we've seen crap, what's the card that you like grant one enemy vulnerable and if they die they draw a card? You draw a card.
Walk the plank.
Ye be warned.
Ye be warned, yeah.
Yeah, so we've seen that be used in
pirate.
Yeah,
level.
that gets used in a lot of the the Bilgewater Shadow Isles No Champions aggro deck. This looks really good for that. This is sick with Fizz. This is really good with Fizz. This is just, it's sweet. It's sweet.
Oh man, this is
card
like
seems nuts.
the Undying's dream, right?
Oh, 100%. You're both killing your own stuff and also giving things vulnerable. This is good with dragons as well. Giving other things vulnerable for dragons to eat with their fury is sick. This is just, you can anything that you have last breath that you want to die. This is great.
Yeah, this is real good.
It's just a good card. It's just a good
card. And like it grants vulnerable, which is kind of like the Bilgewater Challenger, which is nice. So you don't have to run. Yeah.
It grants them vulnerable.
Yes.
They keep that. That's a gift you've given them. You've given them this gift of vulnerability.
Yes. They certainly didn't want it, but they have it nonetheless. Okay.
Yep.
Last batch of cards that we have so far. We got 4 more today. We got 2 Targon cards and 2 Freljord cards. Start with the Crystal Ibex. 4 mana, 4/4 Targon card. Play, grant an ally, overwhelm. I mean, it's a common, so not anything too exciting, but 4 mana, 4/4 seems like good stats. Granting overwhelm, that's a strong ability.
Yeah, that's quite a strong ability. I don't know, you may not have seen this deck, but there's a deck out there that likes to give Lee Sin overwhelm. Have you seen this before?
Oh my, yes. I have played dozens and dozens of games of it.
Oh, like pretty much only against that. And I don't know, more overwhelm enablers could be good. Yeah, especially because this isn't Targon, so a lot of stuff, you know, if we ever do see more, whatever his name is, I can't think of Pretty Boy. Oof.
Pretty Boy?
What's his name?
Wait, what
card?
champion?
The champion. No.
Oh,
from
Tarek?
Targon. Tarek, yeah. I wanted to call him Tyrell, but that's not his name.
That is not his name at all, no.
Yeah, if we ever see more of that, this could be sick. It's cool. Cool.
Yeah, definitely just a solid card. Then the other Targon card we got is the Sneaky Zeebles. Oh no, I spoiled the sound again. Oh man, I did.
Damn it.
I blew it.
It is a 5 mana 3/3 elusive with play stun enemies with 2 or less power.
Interesting. This is a weird card. I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty weird. It's got elusive, so it checks that box for me. I like it. 5 mana 3/3.
A lot of other elusives do tend to have less power.
Yes.
So you're stunning like Teemos.
True. That's true.
And what is it, river cutthroats and stuff. So maybe this can hit 5 mana, which is a lot.
Yeah, 5 mana 3/3 is pretty stinky. Not liking it. This is part of the weird menagerie zoo of Targon cards that just randomly are like, oh, here's a weird flying otter creature. Here we go. Here's a weird puffy elephant creature thing that's a 2/3 with overwhelm that I bet you forgot is in the set. Yeah, I think this is an expedition card, probably.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it could be all right, I guess, but the problem is it's not a good finisher. It's not a good aggressive card. It's not really a good mid-range card. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I do this thing sometimes where I read a card and I read what I think it says on the card, but not what it actually says.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, if I was making this card, this is the effect it would have.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason it was when it attacked, it stunned enemies with 2 less power, but it's a play effect.
Yeah.
And I was at first, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. When you attack, you stun. Then I read the card with my actual ability to read that I've just recently gained. And I'm like, oh, that is not how the card works at all. It's a play effect.
No, it is not. Yeah, so I mean, it's a common, so I'm not expecting much from it. But there is a common that I am actually expecting quite a bit from, and that is Voices of the Old Ones. 8 mana, burst spell, gain 2 empty mana gems, And then for the top 4 cards of your deck, draw each card that cost 8+, then shuffle the rest into your deck. This is like the ramp player's dream, I guess. You're
good.
ramping and drawing cards.
And it also enables
Behold.
bestow.
Or, yeah.
Behold.
Yeah.
It's behold. It's not.
It's behold.
Bestow's a magic
bestow
thing.
is from Theros, yeah.
Yep, same thing. It seems good. Gaining 2 mana crystals. I mean, and so this is in Freljord, so 8 mana spell on average you're playing on turn 2 with all the ramps. So
yeah. I'm trying to think. What is the actual nut draw? So you go turn.
You want voices of the old ones, right?
Right.
Or no, what's it? What's the not voices?
The
stupid
faces of the old ones.
Faces of the old ones.
Yeah, so turn 2 that. Turn 3 you'll have 4
stones.
mana.
Or Catalyst? No, you don't have mana for Catalyst. Wait, do you have mana for Catalyst?
If you bank on one, then you'll have 4 plus 1 is 5. Then you'll have 6, 7. So it's not enough. I don't know what the nut draw is. It doesn't really matter. You can get this out pretty early, even if you don't. Just getting like, I've played a bunch of various Freljord ramp decks in the past couple weeks, whether it was with Shadow Isles or with Targon, and getting to full mana, whether it's for War Mother's Call or just like for Aurelion Soul, or like the mana is always good. And one of the problems that you can get is like, oh, you draw this late Weirding Stones. It's like, well, this is kind of useless. Catalyst is fine because you can at least gain life. This is just so much better than that when you draw it late and when you draw it on time. It's insane too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you're ramping up into
and drawing cards.
Yeah, and drawing cards. Like, this seems insane. I don't know how many you run, because I could imagine this gets clunky, and also if it misses, it feels pretty bad. But it does make you pretty much have to draw, or play 8+ cards. So I don't know. It seems really good, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays out. Last card we're going to be talking about today, because this is all we have so far, is the Howling Abyss, the Freljord landmark, 7 mana, round start. Create in hand a random level 2 champion that's not in your hand, deck, or play. Wow. It's also worth noting that the Howling Abyss is the map that you play on ARAM, so this is a flavor win, if nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. This is an interesting one, and this card, I think, has seen more controversy than many cards in this game.
Yes.
Personally, I don't think it's very powerful or overpowered or broken.
No.
I think that it is very incredibly fun. It's 7 mana that you can't use spell mana for.
Yep.
That doesn't do anything when you play it.
Yep.
That just gives you stuff that you can later play. So it's a value machine.
Yes.
Lots of good value potentially. But it doesn't like some people were trying to. I've seen some hot takes that this is a better War Mother's Call, which I highly disagree with. Because War Mother's Call is giving you free units every turn, essentially, which is why it's so strong that you've chosen. This can give you some duds. It is really damn cool. It's probably my favorite new card.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny.
It is a very cool card. And again, it doesn't do anything when you play it, but it does do something quicker than it would in Magic, because the round starts essentially on your opponent's turn if you're comparing it to Magic, right? So it's better than something that would read like this in Magic, but this one specifically, unlike the Shadow Isles one, this one effectively has an even later start time, because the round start ability creates a card in your hand. It doesn't put it into play like War Mothers. You're getting a level 2 champion in your hand, which you then have to pay mana for, and you then have to commit to. So it's very slow. Like you said, it is a value engine, and I think that this I mean, this very well could be a like control deck mirror breaker, right? Like you are,
absolutely.
if you're playing control versus control and one player has this and the other doesn't, it's very hard to come back from that.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of inevitability for sure.
So yeah, I do like that. I mean, I also like Warmother's Call for that reason too. But
yeah,
I think that they serve a somewhat similar purpose. This Saucy actually more so than Warmother's and more so than almost any other deck, with the exception of like Karina control and like some Karma builds. This actually might be. This card might be the first one that enables you to play 0 units in your deck.
Which is my
like
dream.
Actual 0. Right.
That's actually
like,
my dream.
Good old fashioned Nephalia Drown Yard is the only win condition blue-black control. Those are the
decks.
days. Like just nothing but spells. You play nothing but ramp, removal, and
card draw.
And card draw and life gain. That's it. And then you play Howling Abyss and you win a very slow, grindy game. I mean, I can already see that deck being playable, right? Do I think this is broken? No. Do I think that this card is good? Possibly, for sure. I don't think it's broken though. It is very cool, very fun. And one thing that I will in that vein, because I've seen a lot of people also being like, Omega Law, we Hearthstone now, and it's like, I almost don't even want to. I almost don't even want to acknowledge that statement because it's so dumb.
Yeah, but it's not like just introducing a card that has a random effect doesn't suddenly. One, people have to be playing it. Two, it has to be actually affecting the game and the meta. I feel like this is a type of card most likely is going to be played like a one of in a lot of decks or in some decks,
right?
Not necessarily building around it. Like we saw people theory crafting put like the 6 champions you don't want it to generate in your deck and all this crazy stuff. I was like, all right, that's cute. Okay, I get it.
Okay, sure.
But I feel like this is something like when we get like a really slow control meta, you throw 1 or 2 in your Warmother's Call deck to just be better in the mirror.
Right.
It's really cool. Also, so the champions are already leveled up, so you don't get their level up effects as well.
Right. Yeah, so you don't get
like
Maokai,
people are saying, oh, if you get a Maokai, you just win. Well, no, it's just an already leveled up Maokai. It doesn't actually obliterate their deck.
Which is still pretty good, but it doesn't
yeah,
do
Maokai's actually very good as a body.
Yeah, just the whole like, if you think that adding a card that has random elements makes us Hearthstone, like you're just not understanding what is unsatisfying about Hearthstone. And if you think that randomness ruins Hearthstone, then or is the only thing that makes Hearthstone bad like that, then I imagine you probably just don't like card games. Like,
yeah. Yeah, the people who are saying, I think your mulligan should be, you can choose what cards you have in your opening hand. People like that.
I don't even.
Real argument.
It's really dumb.
I don't understand.
Really dumb.
Sculpt the perfect hand.
Yes. Oh God.
But there's a lot of good like on average, a level 2 champion is good. Like even if they don't get crazy effects, even if it's, a lot of things that aren't even played, like some champions get better if they're already leveled up and some get worse, right? Like if you get a Jinx from this, that's really good because you're just drawing extra cards.
Yeah, it is.
Like Katarina or like Garen are just rally effects.
Rally is insane.
Like there's a lot of interesting, and this is going to be like a YouTube highlight machine.
Yeah.
That's why I love this. Like we're going to get the games where we just get, all these crazy rallies and it's going to be fun.
Cosign brings up arguably one of the worst ones that you could get, which is Teemo.
I know. Sadly, Teemo's bad because he's leveled up. So if you ever put puff caps in their deck, it just doubles 0.
Oh, no.
He's still an elusive, so he's still a 2/2 elusive. Strong.
True. That you can play out as a blocker. Yeah, I think this is a cool card. Not broken, not unplayable, I don't think, though, because you can sculpt a deck that is fine with this.
I think it's actually a pretty good power level for like a good healthy power level for a card. Not just saying that because I like it or that I'm biased.
Right.
Because think about it also, like the turn you play it, likely that's your whole turn. You've basically just spent all your mana to do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's taking up a spot on your board, which, like, if you've played a lot of War Mothers, a lot of times the biggest problem is you run out of board space because you have these, especially in the current forms because they're playing like Weirding Stones and stuff. So you have your board's just full of just shit. So this is another thing that also does that. It does gum up your board. So there is an actual tax to playing this.
And when you compare it to War Mother's Control, I mean, what's that style of deck? Though, like, it's nothing but reactive. What is the counter to that deck? Just like you can go underneath it, right? Playing an aggressive deck. So if you're playing Howling Abyss, you're spending 7 mana, you play it. You are not playing another unit. Likely, you're past the turn. You get your champion in hand, your opponent, open attacks. Okay, you're in a bad spot. Now, of course, you can play it on your opponent's turn, then get it on your turn. I get that, but sometimes like that is going to be the case. If you're comparing it to War Mother's Control, in that scenario, you're getting a unit when you play War Mother's Control, and then generating another one on your opponent's turn. So
for free. It's free mana every turn.
For a 0 mana investment, and also a 0 game actions investment, or the 0 additional game actions investment. So comparing it to War Mother's Control, I get some aspects, but when you're saying it's an improved War Mother's Control, I mean, come on, bro.
There's the other thing. The other thing is this card's very bad in multiples. Like it's very, very bad in multiples because you throw out now like 2 of your board spaces are full of just a no blocker. If you're playing Control, you need your bodies to be blocking most of the time as well. So yeah, and then you're just generating 2 cards that you probably can only usually play maybe 1 the next turn.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's quite bad in multiples. That's why if this does see play, I see it as like a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
Because my opening hand always going to be 3 of these. So
I'm waiting for the March of the Machines-esque card that turns all landmarks into units with health and attack equal to their cost. That's what I want.
Why do you got to make me so excited? Like that? I'm all about my least favorite card type is followers. So I want a deck with no followers. If I can have just spells and landmarks, it's like the enchant. No, it's like the enchantment deck where you turn all your enchantments into a thing. What is the stupid card?
All I can think of is Enduring Ideal, which is not the card you're talking about.
But yeah, there's
Opalescence, yes, where you turn your enchantments into creatures, yes.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to turn my landmarks into permanent big dudes.
Same. That would be fun.
That's my second. Now that you said that's my second most wanted effect in this game.
Wait, what's the first?
The one where it makes all of your creatures assign damage equal to their toughness.
Oh, okay. The fight with your butt.
I want that
the door in
bad.
the siege tank. Yes.
Yep. I want it so bad.
Fun.
Someone,
or siege
who
tower,
was it that made? There was the Dr. Mundo set that was posted in Discord.
Oh, that's like
that someone made.
That would be cool. The problem with that compared to Magic is that every time that they are in a battle, they get weaker, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
They get
that was
way weaker.
That made that.
Yeah, that is really cool
though. Give them regen.
Ooh, if you give them regen. Oof.
Everything needs regen.
I'm heating up.
I'm getting so hot.
The crab boil that is the slaughter docks is heating up, and the lobsters are cooking. But Saucy, that is it for our cards so far. We're gonna be getting I'm assuming we're gonna be getting more in the coming days because the set is coming out in 1 week from today, so there's not a ton of time for them to reveal cards between now and then.
Yeah. It's quite literally next week.
Quite literally 1 week from today. 1 week from today, we should be playing with the new cards. I don't know why I'm doing this voice, but
no, it's good.
Saucy, any last minute words here before we get going?
Yep. Just remember that Tahm Kench, one of his aliases, is the Great.
The Great what?
Waddler.
Ooh, the Great Waddler. I love it.
Yep, he's got on the official wiki, he can be the River King, the Demon of Addiction, or the Great Waddler.
Ooh, I like it.
His pronouns are he, him, if you're looking to dating profile.
Looking at the dating profile for Tahm Kench. Basically, all I know about Tahm Kench is that he's a demon, and he's basically an amalgamation of the monkey's paw, where it's like you wish for something and he gives it to you, but there's a karmic justice, poetic justice sort of thing. But
yeah, before this reveal, all I knew about him was that he's a fortune brawler.
And that well, no, you also know that who are you playing that game? Me and you had the best lane ever with me as Tahm Kench, and you were you Teemo or were you Biz? I don't remember who you were. We had bot lane covered.
I think I was Teemo.
Yeah, I think I was Tahm Kench and you were Teemo. We destroyed bottom lane. It was awesome.
We're just the best bot laners ever.
True. If an LCS team is looking for 2 bot laners,
and we can only play Teemo and Tahm Kench, so
yeah. So if they get banned, you're gonna need to find subs.
We're gonna just leave the building, ban Teemo. I just take my headset off and leave.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
Fire up LOR while I'm still at a computer.
Okay. But that's the only champion I own.
Yikes. We're gonna have to. They're gonna have to make some sort of exception for us. But that's gonna be it for this episode, everyone. Thank you for watching. Saucy, where can people find you on the internet when you're not here?
Yeah, I am on the internet. Everywhere is just Saucy Mailman on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all those places. Also saucymailman.com. Yeah, come hang out with me and do the thing.
Yeah. You can find the show everywhere. Runeterrable, pretty much everywhere. Runeterrable.com, DeckPics.Live, at Runeterrable on Twitter, and of course, Discord.me/Runeterrable Radio, and Patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio if you want to get in on that newsletter and all of those awesome perks as well. Patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio. You can find me on Twitter at @the_Blevins, or if you like tournaments, you can go to twitch.tv/GiantSlayerTV on Fridays, where I'm casting Fight Night for Giant Slayer every Friday. But that is going to be it. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back next week, probably rushing out of here because we want to play with the new cards, but we'll be talking about all the new cards of the new set next week. We get some more Legends of Runeterra content.